Is Planet 13 everything it's hyped up to be? Well, I went and checked it out in person, so stick around. Welcome to Framework Fortune. I'm your host Ben. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn day trading, long-term investing, building your credit, building the framework for your financial freedom, start your journey now by hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you've been following me for a while, then you know I'm all about Planet 13. I'm invested in Planet 13. I think it's a great company, but I recently just got back from vacation in the Southwest and I had to stop in to Vegas and check out Planet 13. So let's dive into that footage now and stick around to the end of the video. I'll give you my overall thoughts whether Planet 13 is a good investment or not after seeing it in person. And I got a little bit of information that I got from talking to a few people who work there that I'll share right after all this. When you're driving through Vegas on your way to Planet 13, you'll see other dispensaries. Now these dispensaries, if you didn't know what they were there or know what they were already, just by looking at them you probably still wouldn't know that they were dispensaries. Planet 13 on the other hand, when you pull up or drive by it, you see it. It stands out, even amongst all of the big Vegas backdrop. It is something that you cannot pass without thinking, what is that, if you didn't already know. Now, I visited Planet 13 twice while I was there, and both times the parking lot was almost full. And also, another thing I noticed, you have a rideshare and taxi lane where taxis are bringing and picking people up and ride shares are bringing and picking people up, but they also have their own delivery cars and delivery vans. So if you're in a certain mile radius, Planet 13 will actually deliver to you in Vegas. And we stayed in the Palms Resorts Casino that night, which I highly recommend if you're going to Vegas. But out front in the valet, there were several different Planet 13 rides dropping product off for people. Now when you walk in, the first thing you see is the dispensary check-in, and this whole entire inside of Planet 13 is basically a work of art. They spend a lot of time with the designs in this building, but there's a big desk right in the middle that you have to go through the line to get to. You have to show them your ID and they print you out a ticket, and that ticket's to get into the actual cannabis part of the building. The building is a very big building and probably one of the largest dispensaries I've ever seen. Considering they're claiming they're the largest in the world, it probably is, because it is not small by any means. But once you get your tickets, you start walking back, and there's actually a very cool digital screen in the floor of some water and lily pads that if you step on it will make ripples in the digital water. If you're a stoner, you could probably get stuck there for hours. But anyway, the building is like one big hallway straight back. And as you're walking back to the left, you will see the coffee shop and the pizzeria. Both restaurants are very well designed. They have their own ambience and they're very beautiful. However, I did learn while I was there, initially I thought that the menu items were all cannabis infused, but because of federal law, they're not able to sell those products yet to the public. So it's just regular pizza and coffee for now, but they still do plan on selling the edible foods once they are able to. Now my wife did get a cup of coffee while we were there, and she said it was very good, very high quality, so they are selling quality products. It'll be interesting to see what they do with edibles when they are able to. If you walk past the restaurant and the dispensaries to the back of the hallway, there's actually a very big glass wall that shows what looks like a science research facility inside of there. It's all equipment and people in white lab coats walking around looking busy. It looked to me like a place where they're making some of the edibles fresh there on site. So that's pretty cool. But what I noticed on the inside of the building was there was a whole bunch of closed off space, which shows me that Planet 13 is still expanding in the building that they are in. So even though they're turning millions of dollars a month, they still have room to grow in their Vegas location, which is pretty insane considering how big it is right now. So when you walk through the gates, there's actually greeters standing there like Walmart greeters that will actually help you figure out what you need to do to get started in your process of purchasing the cannabis or cannabis products or any other merch. You can also order online, and there's a pickup line for that, but if it's your first time, I highly recommend going into the dispensary without going online and checking out all the different products. There's all kinds of display cases with tons of different strands of cannabis, all types of edibles, all types of equipment to use to consume your cannabis products. It really is overwhelming, the magnitude of this store. Now, they have digital kiosks that you can sign in with your name and your phone number, and they'll actually send you a text message when one of the bud tenders is ready to facilitate you. So you don't just go grab a bud and take it up to the counter and buy it. That's not how it works. You have to go look at all the different strands, take pictures on your phone if you want to show the bud tenders. The bud tenders are very knowledgeable. Think of them like a wine sommelier. They can tell you what is in each strand, how much of the levels are in each strand, what it's going to do to you, the side effects. It's really impressive. If you've never tried cannabis before, they can also recommend some strands for you that might fit you personally, that won't knock your socks off right in the beginning. Because Planet 13 does have some very high THC strands, but they also sell some lower ones with higher CBD. Like I said, don't be afraid to ask questions. It's recreationally legal in Vegas, so you're doing nothing wrong. So you can enjoy yourself like a giant adult baby in a daycare. Have fun here. So that was my walkthrough of Planet 13 Las Vegas. If you live in a state where it's not recreational legal yet and you're visiting Las Vegas, I definitely recommend you go check it out. It'll actually blow your mind, and the atmosphere is really cool and laid back. Now, if you're thinking about investing in this company, definitely do your own due diligence and research, but in my opinion, after seeing it, it's still a buy for me. The stock price is around $1.50 right now, and as this company continues to grow, they're going to expand, and they're probably going to be in several tourist cities around the world. If you haven't seen my original review on Planet 13, you can go and check that out. But now, are you ready for the little bit of information that I was able to get out of a couple of the bud tenders? So there's been rumor of a second location opening soon. From what I was told, it's in Santa Ana, right beside Disneyland. What a spot for a dispensary, but it could drive a whole lot of traffic. One of the things I noticed while I was here, it was busy. Both times that I went, packed. So I could easily see the Santa Ana location doing very well for them. Now, the other little bit of information that I got was from another bud tender. He told me that they were doing so well that they've paid off almost all the debt that they owe so far on the Las Vegas location. Now, that's pretty crazy to me. He told me the night before they had made about $480,000 just that night. So they are definitely turning millions a month. This is a solid company, guys. I definitely recommend you check them out. But this was an awesome experience. I'm so glad I got to see it in person. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up as it helps with the YouTube algorithm. I'm your host, Ben, and you've been watching Framework Fortune.